Hi, the internet. Welcome to the What Else Show. I'm your host, Robert. This is Bethany.
Hi, internet.
And today we've got a brand new What Else Show for you. Today we've got another episode of First Episodes. I believe this is First Episodes number 3. Number 3?
Number 3?
First Episodes number 3?
Is it number 3 or is it number 2?
Come on, bro. Designing Women.
Oh, Designing Women, Three's Company,
and today we're doing
Moonlighting.
Yes. Starring Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd.
Yes.
We just watched the premiere episode. It premiered as a 2-hour-long television event on ABC.
Yes.
Nailed it.
Good job. Yes.
I mean, the version we watched was an hour and a half long.
It's an hour and a half.
Because you can't stream it anywhere, so it doesn't have commercials anywhere, so you have to steal it off the internet. We got it off the dark web.
That's not true. That's not where we got it.
I did find it on YouTube later on. Some random person just uploaded the first episode. So if you want to check it out, it's on there somewhere.
Yeah. Yes.
You don't have to get on the dark web.
So, yes, don't do that. So yes, we watched it from beginning to end. So let's talk about the show a little bit.
You want to give our first impression?
Yeah. Well, no, I was going to give some stats.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So
some facts.
Some stats and facts. So stats and facts about Moonlighting. It premiered on ABC, like you already mentioned, on March 3rd, 1985.
1985.
1985 was the premiere. So it was like mid 80s.
The go-go 80s.
The go-go 80s. So whatever picture you have in your head of that time, that's what the show looked like. The last episode aired May 14th, 1989, after 66 episodes.
66 episodes. How many seasons is that?
I don't know. It didn't give me seasons. It just gave me the number of episodes.
Come on, bro.
I don't know. Maybe the seasons ran differently. I'm going to guess that that's probably like 4 seasons.
Sure, let's go with that.
But that doesn't seem like a lot of episodes. We don't know. But it kind of doesn't seem like a lot of episodes. But
how many was it?
66.
66?
66
is a lot of episodes.
Is that a lot of episodes?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. It just didn't seem like very many, but I mean, they were like an hour runtime.
Yeah.
Also, so
42, 44 minutes.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Yeah. So I think mid 80s. Grown-ups were looking for kind of a more serious show, didn't want to watch sitcoms. This, was not a show for kids.
Well, judging from the first episode, they should have looked elsewhere. You want to
keep flipping the channels.
You want to give a little bit of an impression? What you thought, what I thought? Before we get into what it was all about?
I thought it was very charming. I thought it was very 80s. I do remember kind of watching the show when I was younger, and it was very nostalgic. So
all I remember from the show when I was younger is them slamming the door across from each other. Was that this show?
That was this show.
Okay, they didn't do that in the first episode.
No. So as the show progresses, the office gets fancier and fancier.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so I did not like this show. I didn't like it at all.
You didn't like it at all?
I thought Bruce Willis was awful. As far as his acting and the character that he portrays is just not charming. He's just like, he kind of plays like a sleazy car salesman type of character.
Yeah.
But he's an investigator, but he plays that sleazy car salesman type character.
Yeah. I thought he was very 1940s detective show, noir, like really, listen, sweetheart, like just kind of. But I don't know if that was like a deliberate choice or if that's just the way it came off.
I don't think it came off like that.
Really?
So I don't think it was a deliberate choice.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, that's you.
So let's get into what this episode was all about. Let's get into the plot. The plot summary.
The plot summary.
What happened?
The confusing plot summary.
So it starts out.
Yes.
Right? There's a guy in bed with a woman, and he puts on 2 watches to go for a jog.
Yes. 2 watches.
Very important.
Yes. And we were like, is that an 80s thing? We didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, we didn't know why 2 watches was significant, but they kept showing it.
They kept showing it.
There was a mohawked 80s style punk rock guy.
Yes.
That was jogging with him, then chasing him
Barefoot.
through the park.
They kept showing his feet. He was barefoot.
And he pulls out a gun to shoot him. That's Two Watch guy, right? Mm-hmm. But the Two Watch guy gets hit by a car.
Yeah.
Mohawk guy runs up, steals the watch.
Yep.
No Bruce Willis, no Sybil Shepherd yet.
You're on a roll.
Next thing we get to Sybil Shepherd. She's asleep in her bed. There's pictures of her all over her own wall.
Yes, and they made it very clear. They showed us that she had a very illustrious. She had a very illustrious modeling career.
She have good career.
She have good career. So they showed all of these old pictures and her face on all of these magazine covers. So
Right.
she's beauty queen.
So she's woken up from bed because she hears like dishes smashing on the ground.
Yes.
She's got a really, really nice house.
So cool.
We only
Such a cool
see.
house.
I don't know what part of the house this is, but I'm going to say it's the house's lobby. We only see the lobby of the house.
Like the entryway.
Yeah. At one point, she's like at a table in her entryway.
Yeah.
Well, it's like a big entryway. It's like a lobby.
It's like it is
She's
a lobby.
like a table in there, like drinking tea or whatever rich people do in the giant entryways.
It's laid out so strange.
It's very bizarre, but it looks super nice.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Anyways, she hears plates breaking, dishes breaking.
Yes.
There's a stereotypical chef who has not gotten paid.
Yes, he's an Italian chef and he's mad.
Yes.
He's so
an
mad.
awful actor.
Yes, he was terrible. He was terrible.
We find out Sybil Shepherd, Maddie
Hayes. Madeline Hayes is her name.
Has been writing bad checks.
Bad
She's been
checks.
bouncing checks to all of her staff.
Didn't know it.
She had no idea.
Dun dun dun.
All right. We get past that. She goes to talk to her lawyer. Her lawyer tells her, your management company? Manager?
Business managers. Her business managers took her for everything that she had, basically.
Took all of her money. She's talking to her lawyer. Her lawyer informs her that she has investments in a few companies, but her lawyer and her find out right then that those are companies that operate at a loss for tax purposes.
Yeah.
And she's informed to go to these companies and shut them all down.
Yes.
This is the first problem I have with this. Couldn't she have called and shut these companies down?
Well, again, it's 1985. So there's a lot more in-person business transactions going on.
Yeah.
A lot more. So think of it. You can't look at it from like our
I sure can.
virtual.
You're fired. Get out of there.
Yeah. No, I think it's a lot more. I think it was important for her personally to do it in person. I think that was just like maybe her personality,
She has quite a few companies, but we don't ever see her go to any of the other ones.
Right.
All we see her go to is City of Angels Detective Agency.
It's City of Angels Investigations.
City of Angels Investigations. They're private investigators.
Yes.
And that's where she meets up with Bruce Willis.
Yes.
David Attenborough. That's not right.
That's not right.
David
You got it. Come on.
Hayter.
Also not right.
David Harrison?
Oh,
What is it?
It's David Addison.
David Addison.
Addison.
Yeah, I was close.
You were so close. David Addison.
David Addison. And he's, like I said before, he's kind of like this slick talking, used car salesman investigator.
Yes.
I don't get it.
He's a jerk.
As soon as he meets her, he tells her that he thought he saw her in Playboy magazine.
Yes, she was very offended that he thought she was in Playboy magazine.
And then
Not getting off on the right foot. Yeah.
Then he does actually remember where he sees her from. She's in a very famous shampoo commercial.
Yes, Blue Moon shampoo.
She tells him that she's shutting the company down and to return all the stuff, all the cars, all the credit cards, anything that belonged to the company, and that they all need to get out. I mean, I thought it was very right, because like she also said that they'd have a 2 weeks
Severance
for people that didn't have severance already negotiated in a contract, which I thought was very decent.
Yeah, that was nice of her.
Yeah, and then
considering that company was like hemorrhaging money.
Yeah. And then right before she leaves, Bruce Willis stops her at the elevator and calls her a cold bitch, and she slaps him.
Yes. And that was really funny.
Like Bruce Willis is the jerk in this situation.
Yeah, he was kind of the quote unquote bad guy.
Yeah, because
in that situation,
she lost all her money, and now she's trying to, get what she can out of the companies she does own that are losing money. If she keeps these companies, she's going to lose money.
Yeah, she's gonna just be completely bankrupt. So he was not understanding at all.
No.
All
right. We cut to Sybil Shepherd. She's on a date with an old man who does plastic surgery. She obviously doesn't like him. He's made out to be a weirdo. I thought he was fine.
He was just like boring. Yeah, he was just kind of a boring guy, and he kept talking about like all he sees in people are like their flaws.
Yes.
He just seemed a little insulting.
Which I feel like I would do if I was a plastic surgeon. I feel like that would be me.
You just can't shut it off.
Fix that nose. Eyes are all droopy.
Yeah. Can't shut it off. Yep.
She's on this boring date with this plastic surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
We cut to Bruce Willis calls the surgeon away for some kind of emergency. He shows up and talks to Sybil Shepherd. She doesn't like him. She tries to run away into the ladies' room. He stays and he waits for her.
He's just like hanging out, waiting for her.
I think this is where we cut to the Mohawked guy.
Yes, so now we're back to the Mohawk guy.
He's being chased by a guy that looks like a school teacher, but is, I guess, a professional killer.
I guess so.
There's like a school teacher, professional killer chasing Mohawk guy.
Yeah.
Right? So Mohawk guy's running from him in an elevator. I don't know. Maybe they didn't know how elevators worked.
The elevators are like neck and neck, and they're glass elevators. And so they're like eyeing each other through the elevator. And like,
he doesn't even like try and get off the elevator and like run. You never see him run.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh.
It was bizarre. It was really bizarre.
Yeah, it's awful.
Like, I don't think anybody would do that if somebody was chasing them.
Okay, we're back to Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd. They're eating dinner. No, they're not eating dinner.
They're not eating dinner. They're arguing.
They're arguing. Plastic surgeon comes back. He's got to go. He leaves Sybil Shepherd his credit card, which seemed weird because he said he already paid for dinner.
Yeah. So he gives her his credit card. Like very nonchalant.
Bruce Willis still won't leave Sybil Shepherd alone.
He's just the worst.
And she's trying to leave. Bruce Willis is following her. They go to the elevator. We get in the elevator, and the elevator doors open. Mohawk guy falls forward, takes this watch out of his mouth, and he puts it on Sybil Shepherd's wrist.
Yes.
And then they don't know what's wrong with him, but he falls to the ground. He was stabbed in the back.
Yes.
Presumably by the school teacher assassin.
Yes.
All right. What happens next?
Okay. So after that, cut to the police station.
They're being investigated by the police. They know Bruce Willis.
Yes. They make it very clear that Bruce Willis is kind of a known there. So he like buys the investigators pizza and he's really like hanging out, and they kind of really like him. So we don't really see much of what happened behind closed doors at the police station. It's just a lot of, more like inferences, and he comes back, and then they take Maddie back to go do her questioning or whatever, take her statement.
The police investigation ends there. She gets out of the police station.
Bruce Willis called the press.
Yes. Bruce Willis called the press.
He's the one who called them there.
And he's like antagonizing Sybil Shepherd.
Yeah.
And then she runs after him, and then they end up like in an underground parking structure.
Yeah.
None of the press follows them or anything.
Yeah, and I don't know. Mary Hart from Entertainment Tonight had a cameo. She's trying to interview Maddie on the stairs of the police station. It's pretty funny.
Sybil Shepherd starts to call a cab because she wants to get out of there, but then Bruce Willis comes into the parking structure like a jerk and does some kind of donut in there, and then tells her that that's actually her car. She drives to her house and she says, "Here, Bruce Willis, take the keys and drive home." But when she opens her door, we see the school teacher assassin there. The school teacher assassin has a gun on them and he wants to know where the watch is.
Yes.
Sybil Shepherd, Maddie, tells him she gave the watch to the police. He doesn't believe her. A fight scene breaks out, which is just awful.
The fight scene was terrible. So the school teacher had a henchman with him.
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis and the henchman kind of tussle, and Maddie somehow gets her hands on the gun. The whole thing was just very silly.
The henchman in this scene is wearing like a see-through, like mesh shirt. Like he's wearing a jacket, but his shirt, you know, is like see-through.
Yeah, he's wearing like a button down, like almost like shirts that we're wearing, like button down with a collar.
But it's
like mesh.
Yeah, you can see his nipples. It's weird.
It was bizarre.
They don't even call attention to it. They just
like
do it.
nobody commented on that.
Is that an 80s fashion we don't know
It
about?
had to have been
It's
80s fashion. Yes, because it was.
Anyways, fight breaks out. Sybil Shepherd shoots all around the room for no reason.
Yeah, she's trying to shoot the school teacher assassin, but she keeps missing.
She shoots everything.
Yeah, she shoots up, and then she uses up all the bullets,
really
obviously, trying to shoot him.
Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd get tied up.
He finally believes her. He doesn't believe her the entire time, and he finally believes her, and then leaves.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're tied up, so they untie each other, and then we find out actually Bruce Willis has the watch because he took it from the police?
No, he took it from Sybil Shepherd. He switched them, and so the watch that she gave the cops, she didn't notice that it wasn't the same watch. It was some watch that he had.
Okay, good.
So he's been wearing it the whole time. Like, they didn't check to see if one of them was wearing it.
Yeah, I don't know.
He had it on the whole time. Anyways,
the school teacher did not check to see that Bruce Willis was wearing a watch, and it was the watch he was looking for.
So weird.
I don't know. I told you I didn't like this at the beginning. I don't know why that's surprising.
The events just are so weird. Okay, so continue your synopsis. You're doing great.
Okay.
Doing great.
They go back to Bruce Willis's detective agency to sleep on the couch.
Yes.
Because they're going to hide out exactly where Bruce Willis spends most of his day.
And her name is associated with the place.
She owns it.
His name is associated with the place. That's got to be the safest place for them to hide, right?
I don't remember what happens after here. Where do we go from here?
So they spend the night, and then the next day they go see a jeweler to try and find out what's up with the watch, and like how, they're thinking was that like, well, this watch must be really valuable. And so they go to the jeweler, and the jeweler's like, no, it's garbage.
There's no
it's junk.
There's no value to the watch. To the person looking at the watch opens it up and sees that there's some numbers in there. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. Sybil Shepherd freaks out because by the time they come out of the pawn shop where Bruce Willis went to see his friend about the watch, they come out and school teacher assassin is dead in the backseat of their car.
Dead in the backseat of their car. So she wants out of this.
She's like, I'm done. There's too many corpses. Like, I'm out. And so they go to the nearest place to use the phone, which is a bar. Yes. So
continue. So she calls a cab. Does Bruce Willis steal the watch off of her again? Or does she hand it to him? Or what happens? He steals the watch from her again.
She demands he give it to her, so he does, but then he ends up stealing it back.
Okay. In the morning, Sybil Shepherd realizes the watch is gone, so she goes to Bruce Willis at his place of business.
Yep. Goes back to the detective agency.
When she gets there, they're changing the name of the business to Blue Moon Detective Agency.
Yes.
And everybody's super happy that she's invested in this detective agency, which she has not done.
She has not. So he propagated this story with all these. I mean, there's a lot of people that work at this company. It's not just like a tiny shop. It's like there's tons of employees. And so he told them somehow that she invested and saved the company. And so they changed the name to Blue Moon Investigations after her famous shampoo ad. And it was really bizarre. So she's pissed at that point.
So at this point, I really like this, is that Bruce Willis mentions putting the numbers into the computer. And he's
my
they're
God.
not telephone numbers, and they're not zip codes, and they're not.
Oh my God.
They're not alphabet, right?
It was, yeah.
What program is he running?
People talking about computer things in the 80s. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. And he's got like the dot matrix printer paper.
Yeah, and it's just written in tons
and there's
of
like
pages.
reams and reams of like the printer paper, and he's like looking at it, and he's got a pen, and he's like marking it up. I mean, it was.
He realizes these are latitude and longitude.
Yes, they eventually arrive at that.
Yep. So they realize it's latitude and longitude. They go to that destination.
Yes.
Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And conveniently, it's like downtown New York. Conveniently.
No, they're in Los Angeles.
Are they in Los Angeles? Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. So conveniently.
You want me to edit that part out?
Yes, please. I forgot what city
No.
Please edit that out. Sorry, I haven't eaten anything today. You haven't fed me food yet today. Okay.
So they go to New York, back to Los Angeles.
I don't know
so they
why
can get to this destination.
I don't know why I was thinking it was New York. I don't know why I was thinking. Anyways, okay. So it's right in their conveniently located in their city.
Yeah. They don't have to go to Nepal.
It's really weird. Yeah, I was expecting some sort of I was expecting a plane ride somewhere, and it's right there.
The location is this building that has a big clock, and the clock is the same as the watch with the number that the watch always points to. Mm-hmm. So they get up into this big clock building.
Yep.
And Maddie scales a wall to get over to the hand of the clock.
I would like to mention that was one part of the episode I actually really liked, because he tried to climb up and he couldn't. He kept falling. So Maddie had to do it. And I liked that.
Right.
She kicked his ass at climbing that wall.
Right. But did you like when they switched to the stunt man when they were for the far shots, the awful stunt man in a wig?
Oh my gosh. Yes.
All right.
Very charming.
She miraculously makes it onto this hand of this clock.
Yes.
And she's stuck. She can't get down. So
yes.
Bruce Willis goes to get a ladder, which they didn't do in the first place.
Yeah. Why? I don't know.
And when she's getting onto the ladder, she kicks a piece of the wall, the face of the clock.
Yeah.
And it drops diamonds. We didn't mention this was all in the search for diamonds, did we?
We forgot to mention that they talk to the dead jogger's wife, his widow.
Yeah. And
so she mentions this story about the guy's father, who was a World War II pilot, and some German... The guy's father was a World War II...
No, I'm expressing to the audience how awful this is by shaking my head.
I'm sorry. Yes, so the guy's dad was a World War II pilot, and you tell it. You've been doing the synopsis.
No, you tell it, because I'm thoroughly confused. He made a deal with a German soldier.
Yep.
That after the war was over, he would smuggle $4 million worth of diamonds out of Germany.
Yeah.
But he didn't do that. He hid the diamonds.
Yes. So he got them out of Germany for this guy and just hid them and didn't give them back.
All right. That's a real important part that we forgot, guys.
That's a really important part. It's all about was it 4 million?
4 million.
It was all about $4 million in diamonds. That's what all this is about. And we also forgot to mention.
We forgot another part.
We forgot another part. There is this German grandpa.
Oh yeah.
Guy.
Yeah, the old man.
Who is the one kind of pulling all the strings behind the scenes.
Yeah, he hired the
Mohawk guy. Yeah, he hired Mohawk guy.
We don't know who hired the other people.
We have no idea who hired school teacher assassin.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
People are after these diamonds.
Right.
So stupid. It's so stupid. It's so convoluted.
So she kicks the face of this clock, this giant clock,
Yeah.
by accident.
By accident.
And these diamonds fall out. They would have never found them. If
They never would have found them
by accident.
They fall right at Bruce Willis's feet.
Right. So the ladder, it's not a sturdy ladder situation. So
Of course not.
Sybil Shepherd goes over the side and holds onto the ladder miraculously.
And it's like the top of a skyscraper.
Yeah.
It's like a really tall building.
Yeah, it's a tall building.
I feel like she would have just died.
She would have just fallen.
I feel like she would have, yeah.
I mean, the way that ladder fell, you know.
And there was no reason for the ladder to fall. He was standing right there. Like, just push it back against the wall. I don't understand.
Anyways, Sybil Shepherd's hanging over the edge. They climb back to the ledge, the top.
Yes.
They're back on solid ground. That's when old man Germany comes in.
Grandpa Germany.
He comes in, he's pointing a gun at both of them, and he's like, give me the diamonds.
I want
And
those diamonds.
they're like, come get the diamonds. And then Bruce Willis goes out onto the ladder that's still hanging over the edge.
He crawls out onto...
I don't know why.
I don't know why he did that.
I don't know why he didn't shoot him.
Because Grandpa Germany could have just shot Sybil Shepherd, and Bruce Willis wouldn't have been able to do anything about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
know. So the German grandpa goes after Bruce Willis on the ladder over the edge. Of course, the ladder starts to bend. He falls, but Bruce Willis has got him. But the old man can't hold up, so he falls. All the diamonds fall out of the bag. And then where do we go from there?
all the diamonds fell out of the bag, but eventually Bruce Willis makes it back on top of the ledge, and then it cuts to, I think it just cut to like the newspaper.
Sybil Shepherd's in the newspaper
with Bruce Willis. They're like on the front page of the paper.
Right. And he's still trying to convince her to be partners with him in this detective agency.
Oh, the headline of the paper made zero sense to me.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was exactly.
It said they foiled, Diamond Heist foiled, and it had them on the cover. Like I don't understand. It wasn't a heist.
It was the heist part of it was over.
The heist was already done.
Yeah, the heist was heisted. They didn't foil that.
This stupid headline made no freaking sense. Okay, I apologize.
Yeah,
Continue.
no, I remember that part too.
Continue.
He's still trying to convince her to be a partner with him, and then she's like, I don't know, I'll think about it. The end. Here's the interesting part.
Oh, please tell me something interesting.
The song, the Moonlighting song,
yes,
did not play in the beginning of the episode. You know, the series, the intro played at the end.
Yeah,
like the intro didn't play, but the song intro played at the end of the show.
At the end credits, the song was playing,
right.
And at the beginning credits, there wasn't really much of like opening credits. It looked like something somebody had made on like their homemade.
Yeah, it was pretty awful.
Like somebody like had like a camcorder, and they
it was like the bullshit I do when I edit stuff.
They would be lucky to have you editing this show.
It looks awful, just like what I do at home.
They need some serious help. Yeah, it looked so generic, and
the Moonlighting theme comes up in the show so often.
All the time.
So annoying.
All the time.
What else do we have to... Do you have anything else to say about this show?
I remember laughing a lot while I was watching it. I thought there were a few really funny parts, a few jokes that I felt like did hit. I thought Sybil Shepherd was adorable. I thought the show overall was really charming. I could see the appeal in the mid-'80s of trying to find something to watch, and you're a grown-up and you don't feel like watching a sitcom. I did feel like it kind of had like this weird noir, like they were trying to like kind of go for like a detective, 1940s detective movies, noir type of vibe. But I don't think it like successfully, if it was intentional, it wasn't successful. If it was unintentional, whatever. But that's my 2 cents.
Yeah. Like I said in the beginning, this is awful. It must get better. Because I believe it was a popular show. So it must get better. But the strength of this first 2-hour episode.
Oh my God. It was so
Hour and a half
long.
episode.
It was so long.
Not good at all.
I felt the length of the episode. I was just like, come on, let's,
Yeah,
Let's
I
go.
thought it was tonally off, and I did not find it to be funny at all. The parts that I laughed at were the parts that were, oh, this is really
this is
stupid.
ridiculous.
Ha, ha,
Yeah.
ha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
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 I thought it was really funny when he called her a cold bitch. I just thought that was really
Call
funny.
you a cold bitch all the time. You never laugh.
And I also slap you in the face. Okay, so let's rate it. Do you want me to rate it first?
You rate it first.
Okay, I'm going to give it a 2.
2.
I'm going to give it a 2.
And who do you recommend it to?
I'm going to recommend it to maybe folks of that generation.
Okay.
Who, I mean, if you want to kind of have a nostalgic, viewing experience, it was very nostalgic for me. I remember the theme song. I remember their detective agency. I remember him playing the harmonica, all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of nostalgic. I also like kind of that, detective noir kind of thing that they were trying to do, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to give it a 2. But I think if you, enjoyed watching TV in the mid 80s, maybe you'd really like it. I don't know.
Sure. I'm going to give it a 1. I didn't like it. I recommend it to nobody. I mean, you can't stream it anyways. Good.
Yeah, it's
good riddance.
it's hard to find. It's really hard to find.
But maybe the later episodes are better. Doesn't matter.
We don't know. We'll never know. We'll never know. Have you watched it? Do you know if the later episodes are better? Tell us about the later episodes, because this first one just did not hit it out of the park for us.
This could be somebody's life, Bethany, and you just
This might be
talk
somebody's
trash
favorite show.
about it for
Is this your favorite show?
hours.
Let us know. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna leave.
All right. Take us out.
I'm gonna go.
Take us
I'm gonna
out.
leave. Thanks for watching, Internet. You can follow the show on Twitter at What Else Show, or also on Instagram at The What Else Show. Please like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. And if you have any other shows you want us to watch the first episode of, preferably not one that's not good and that you do like, because we might not say good
Send
things
us
about
the
it.
ones that you enjoy, please.
Leave that in the comments.
Yes.
Bye, Internet.
Bye, Internet.
I don't abbreviate microphone anymore.
It's microphone now?
Always microphone.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah.